Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Penalty Loop Podcast, a podcast about biathlon by Jordan Gottschalk from Penalty Loop and a regular guest, RJ Weiss from Biathlon Analytics.
Hey, RJ. We
Jordan,
are...
how are you?
Oh, well, I'm doing fine. So we're a little bit out of sync. You know why? Because we haven't talked to each other in about a month and a half because I was gone and then you were
Vacations
gone. So,
and
things were kind of funny. And it's funny, as the countdown was going, I was like, oh, shoot, I haven't done this in a while. How do I start again? So anyway, we're joined by Pascale Paradis, who's over there in the corner and sort of laughing at us for bumbling around for a minute.
Hi. Nice to
Hi, welcome
on the
podcast. Yeah, you're a veteran podcast host now, or guest. Hey,
getting there, hopefully.
Yeah,
but
that's what it sounds like.
We do this for all non-French speakers in the world.
Exactly. Yep. All non-French, or if you speak French and English, you can listen to both, and you can see if there's anything that was different between the two.
So we often ask people to introduce themselves, but I thought I was going to take a little bit of a different approach. I'm going to tell about you what I think I know, which is mostly based on assumptions, not even on reading up on things. And I would like you to comment on what of that is right or wrong. Does that work for you?
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what you think of me.
Okay, so I'm going to say your name is pronounced as Pascale Paradis. I know you're from Calgary. I'm guessing you started cross-country skiing with your family and then with Foothills Nordic Ski Club, where you happen to see some people tinkering around with some laser rifles or maybe air pressure, but I'm not sure if that's even allowed in city limits. And you were like, I wouldn't mind trying that out at some point. And before you knew it, you were a biathlete. And things started rolling from there. You probably spent more and more time in Canmore. I don't think you did the BATC program, but maybe you did. Oh, you're really keeping a straight face there. So it's hard to tell if I'm on the right track or not. And then since a couple of years, you've definitely been on our radars. I think even from youth, junior, and then into IBU Cup. And now on the World Cup. And I'll stop my summary at that. And now you can probably spend 10 minutes debunking everything I told and give us the truth.
Honestly, you did pretty good. I started in Foothills because my parents wanted me to do an outdoor sport. Because they were like, yeah, we're not going to sit around inside watching you play some sport all winter.
And was that under protest, or were you like, yeah, sure, whatever?
No, I accepted because I can't do any other sports. Like, I don't have any hand-eye coordination, so It's not an option. I tried soccer, tried bands, just doesn't really work.
Okay.
And yeah, I had a lot of good friends in Foothills, so it was just super fun. But yeah, I found just skiing I was like, this is way too hard. Like, why would I do this? Found out about Biathlon with air rifles. So I joined Girls with Guns, was like a program back in the day. And their COP had an air rifle range that we would shoot at. And there was like a nice little ski loop there. So that was really nice. And yeah, throughout high school, started coming to Canmore more and more. And then my parents ended up buying a house here and just renting it out. And I lived in the basement. So then I lived out here in the summers.
In Canmore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I did do BATC.
Okay. I wasn't
not
sure.
A full year. I did it for a summer before I went up to school in Alaska.
Okay.
And then I did it the following summer as well when I was back.
Okay.
Here.
And that was still with Matthias?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then that year was the year that I don't think I did anything crazy, but there was a big shift in the national team and they brought up a bunch of younger kids. And so I happened to be one of those. So that was like a really cool opportunity. So then I was able to I kind of did like, when I was home for the summers, I would train with the national team and I had that plan that I followed. And then when I was at school, I followed my university coach's plan, but I mean, they were pretty similar.
That was Alaska, or?
Yeah, in
Okay.
Anchorage. So I was on the university like cross country ski team when I was up at school there. So I was mostly focusing on cross country skiing while I was there, but then trying to do the college season it's only January to March. So then before that, I would come to trials, hopefully make a tour of some sort. And just do a little bit of biathlon. And I was when I was up in Alaska, I was training with Jean Paquette. He's the coach for the Anchorage Biathlon Club. So yeah, he was my coach up there, which was super awesome. Because he's so fun and he's a good coach.
Is he French Canadian, or?
Yeah, he was a national team coach for Canada, like way back when, and he was a racer too. Yeah, but he's from Quebec.
And then sorry to interrupt your story here, but is it Pascale Paradis or is it Paradis, or?
Yes, the French way is Pascale Paradis. I just say Pascale Paradis.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, that's like technically the right way to say it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I graduated 2024, and now I'm back in Canmore full time.
And what did you study there?
Natural sciences.
Okay. And are you like trying to do that a little on the side right now, or is that on hold?
It's on hold a little bit. I think I might apply to some like graduate stuff. I honestly don't know what I'm gonna do.
Oh, okay.
But I'm thinking about it because I want to go back to school once I'm done skiing. But I honestly have no idea how long I'm gonna ski for.
Well, maybe a couple of Olympic gold medals will open some doors, right?
Well, we'll see about that one. Yeah, so I really like doing school and skiing, but it was quite a lot. So it's nice to focus on just skiing, but yeah, I find my brain needs something else to focus on at the same time. So
right,
a little bit of balance.
Yeah.
And was there any opportunity to work on the shooting in Alaska? Just like not biathlon per se, but just shooting techniques, or?
What do you mean, like shoot, like
Well, did you have access to like a shooting range, but not necessarily with where you can also ski in and out, but just more like shooting by itself, breathing techniques or that kind of thing? Or was it all focused on the plan that you got from the national team?
I mean, I kind of made it up myself a little bit. Like we kind of had like I don't know, like bi-weekly phone call with the coaches to like talk about like some shooting goals that I would have. And then I'd just bring that to the coach up there, and we'd kind of like, I'd do stuff with the kids and kind of try and do my own thing, and then also like join in with the younger kids. But yeah, they're all like, I want to say like middle school aged. So it's honestly so fun to be able to train with them and just do games and stuff. And
right.
Yeah,
you're probably their hero now.
No, I don't know. I do occasionally I keep in touch with one of them. Like, she came to Canmore for trials one year, so that was it was fun to see her.
Well, I just think it'd be awesome to be that age, and then to also like if you tune in and watch the World Cup, and then there you are, we're like, oh, like I practiced with her.
Yeah, I mean at that point I hadn't been on World Cup yet, but I'd been to IBU.
Yeah.
So it was honestly, it was just fun training with kids, and I was like, man, some of them are just so like they're faster than me, and I was like, it really gave me a run for my money. But yeah, it's just fun to see the young energy and excitement.
Well, good to be pushed, especially by people where you're like, oh, they shouldn't be faster than me.
Yeah, it was humbling for sure. And yeah, it was like they have a huge group and like a huge ski community and growing biathlon community. So yeah, that was pretty fun.
Well, can we go back for just a second there? Because we jumped straight forward to you being in college, but you actually, like, in your very first like youth worlds, right? Your very first race at youth worlds, didn't you finish 6th?
Yeah. Yeah, that was so yeah, I was in grade 10. So I was 14.
Crazy.
So I was racing, I think I was racing up a category. Just by like 1 year, I guess. Like I was supposed to be a senior girl. But I had been doing a lot of youth races because my foothills coach, Tyson, he was like, yeah, you should just carry your rifle, just race up. Like, it's just more fun. I was like, okay, yeah, sounds good. And yeah, I don't even know. I just like went and I was like shitting my pants. Sorry, excuse my language. No, I was very nervous.
No, you're fine. Don't worry. You will never break the record for most shits in a podcast. I think that will permanently belong to.
Okay,
was
perfect.
it Hannah
I wasn't sure if there's.
I
forgot if there's rules about language.
No rules.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I was very like it was my first international thing, and I was just like, yeah, I just had no idea what to expect, and I was like, oh my god, I have like a math test tomorrow. Like, what am I gonna do? I have to study, and then I was like, I don't even know if I'm good at this.
I better go fast and get out of here to study.
Yeah, no, literally. And then, but honestly, I'm like the biggest procrastinator, so like I didn't even probably get to the studying. But yeah, so
and it was
Estonia,
like, is that right?
Yeah, so we were in Estonia, and I felt very out of depth. I was like, this is crazy. Like, I am way too young to be here. Like, but yeah, and then in the end, I feel like I do better. Like when I have no expectations, I just kind of like can do my thing and just have fun with it. And so I was just like, okay, I'll just like go out there and like try my best. And obviously like still really, really nervous. But yeah, so I just like was skiing, and then I was getting these splits, and I was like, oh my, like I'm not actually like slow right now. Like I'm actually kind of good. And then like shooting, I've been always like a bit inconsistent. Like I'm either shooting like super well or super, super like bad, and it's never that consistent, but that's kind of just how it is at that age, I feel like. So I was just like, it was going well, and I was like, this is like, I don't even know. I was not thinking about the race so much, but I was like, this is so cool. Like there's people everywhere, and and then like hearing my name on the and like announcers like calling my name in the range and stuff. I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. Like, yeah, I don't know if you guys know me very well, but I'm a pretty distracted and like all over the place person. So I was thinking about everything but the race, really.
Worked well.
And then on my last loop, yeah, so far, it has. Yeah, on my last loop, Andrew was like, Pascale, you're in first. And I was like, wait, what? Wait, what? Or this was my fourth loop, I remember, actually, because I was like, I was at 15 for 15 with my shooting. And I was like, there's no way that's true. I was like, there's just no way. He was like, yeah, like, you just keep skiing. Like, you need to look forward. Because I was, like, looking back and talking to him. And, like, yeah, it was pretty funny. And then I went in for my shooting. And I was like, okay, this is happening. This is crazy. Of course, I missed a shot. Kind of.
It's funny because I was actually just looking at your stats. Is that the individual?
Yeah, it was the individual, which is...
Because it says your prone rate was 90 and your standing was 100.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't my last shot. It was, I guess, one of the first two. But yeah, so I was at 19 and I was like, okay, this is so crazy. I can't remember which one I missed then. I think it must have been my third bout.
Yeah.
Because I know I missed, honestly, it was so long ago. I missed after I got that split of that I was like in first.
Yeah.
But then like I came around again. And they're like, you're still in it. Like, you've still got it. And I was like, okay, I guess I have to ski like as fast as I've ever skied before. So yeah, then I just like went as hard as I could, which is not something I feel like I was used to doing. Cause I mean, in Canada, there's like, I don't know, at most 10 people in a race usually was what I was used to. So yeah, and then I was just like, I can't remember what I finished and when I finished, but it was good. And I was just like, man, this is crazy. And then I was like, there's no way this is going to stick. I think I was bib 45. So there was still like probably 50 other people that had to finish. I don't know.
And not the worst either with Elvira Oberg.
What I was going to say.
Yeah. Yeah. That was honestly, it was so crazy that I was racing her when she was like, that was like when she got really, really good, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I think she was like her last year youth, and I think she was about to go to junior and all that. But yeah, so, and I think I just went to go cool down. I was super happy with my race. I was like, this is so exciting. Like, that was so fun. Like, I shot the best I've ever shot. And I think I did really good skiing. And so I was just cooling down. And they were like, Pascale, you have to go to the flower ceremony. I was like, wait, what? Like, the flower ceremony? I was like, the what? And so, yeah, it was just kind of like, I didn't even know that was something to expect, really. So I was super late for that. I was like sprinting, and they were like, you need your bib. And then I was like, wait. And then they're like, you need your gun. And I was like, put my gun away. And all that. I was like, what do I take up? Like, do I take my poles and skis up? They were like, well, are you sponsored? I was like, well, like, maybe. Yeah, so that was pretty, it was pretty exciting. And then like the rest of the week, I feel like I had developed some expectations for myself and put more pressure on myself. And then I kind of just, I get nervous when I put pressure on myself, and it makes it a lot harder to shoot.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at some of the names that you raced against. So Elvira Oberg won, but then I see Amy Bezerga behind you, Junie Arneklive, Benita Pfeiffer, Trabucci, Dimitrenko, Ella Halverson. I can't see. Anna Gantler was in there. Ukelik Slettemark. Shiloh.
Wow, I did not realize all those girls were in that race as well.
Pretty good group. Yep.
That's crazy. That's kind of like, I didn't even think about that. The only one I remember was Elvira Oberg.
Well, she was the only one of those.
She was probably kind of a big name already then, right?
Yeah.
Especially in Europe.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't hurt that her sister had just won a gold medal at the Olympics like a week before that.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, so that was kind of my first like experience. And
was your family there or
No, they were not. I think mostly because it was my first like international trip, and they're like, oh, like it's just like for fun. Like she's not there to compete. Like she's just there to experience the international circuit and all that, which is the kind of what I went for. Like I was like, I'm just here to learn. Like I'm not here to like compete per se. You know, I was just there to like experience it. So yeah, it was kind of a lot more than I expected out of that first trip.
What, do you have anything from that time? Like, do you still have your bib or the bouquet of flowers?
No, but I do. I think I can't remember if I got which. I have a board game, and I think it's from that trip.
Okay.
But it's possible that was from from Idra. But but other than that, like I don't have my bib anymore. I don't think.
Were you allowed to keep those at that level?
Yes. Yeah. Bibs. The bibs. I'm pretty sure we were. Yeah, I didn't keep the flowers. Oh no, we didn't get to keep those flowers. We just like had them for the photo and then gave them back.
Oh, okay.
But we have. My mom is a declutterer, so I've had to declutter a lot for the past couple of years. So I don't think I have anything from back then, really.
So now you're collecting all the new stuff.
Exactly. Hopefully.
Well, better keep an eye on that, then, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after that, it was just back to business was not the BATC yet.
I was still Foothills with during that time. So yeah, back to business with that and to school. I was pretty intense about school. So then, the next year I had like a bunch of those provincial exams.
Mm.
So then I decided not to go to World Juniors the year after, and then I think I went. It was either grade 11 or 12. I skipped one of
Yeah,
those
there's a bit of a
years
gap
school.
from 2018 in Odepe and then 2021 in Obertillerk.
Yeah. So I took, I guess, 2 years
Yeah.
of not going. Just to finish school and
But you still race in Canada, I'm assuming.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I went to Obertilliac, but then it was a bit hard for me to balance both teams
Mhm.
that I was like, or biathlon and then like my university team. So I went there. I think I had some like expectations because I was like, oh, like I'm older now. Like I'm a June, or I think, was I a youth still then?
It doesn't really show.
Yeah, I think I was like, whichever category I was in, I was like in the older range. So I was like, oh, like this could be really great. This could be super cool. But I think I just also put a lot of pressure on myself with that one, and like was just super nervous and not in like the best headspace, and school is like pretty stressful at the time. And I was struggling with my sleep. On that trip, like I was pretty stressed.
Right.
So
Never
that
ideal
was a harder one
before a
for
race.
me. Pardon?
Never ideal before a race.
No,
Right.
and I've always struggled with sleeping and that sort of thing. So that was like a spell of not very much sleep for me, just
Right,
overthinking everything.
Yeah, and I'm looking at this list too. Some of your competitors in the individual then were Jean Richard, Sarah Anderson, Maya Klutens, Selena Grotjan, Anna Andexer. So it's, but I mean, you got 17th in the sprint, right? So that must have been like, I always, I think just because typically Canadian athletes start later than European ones, where we seem to be lacking in speed a little bit. But you're a fast skier, right?
Yeah.
And then, like you said, shooting is always a bit up and down, but so you always have the potential that if your shooting is working, to be right at the top, right? Is that still, which one do you feel is your strength, or do you trust on the most, or?
Honestly, I think I can rely. My skiing is consistent, but I guess in my head, compared to like the Europeans, I always think of it as like a little bit lesser, which isn't the most helpful mentality to have. But I always feel that if I can figure out my shooting, then the shooting is what I can rely on.
Right.
And I think in general it is quite good. Or I've gone through phases where like there's some years where I'm like, I'm just nailing it, and I can just like, if I can feel good on the skis, then I'm good. But yeah, I think recently I have a harder time getting the consistency with the shooting and the consistency with the skiing on the same day. But yeah, on the world, I don't know. I think as I progress, I think my skiing isn't like, I think when I was younger, it was like on this like steeper curve.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I guess it's totally normal as you get older that it's just like, your trajectory isn't going to keep going like straight up. It's feels a bit more plateauy. But yeah, I think in recent years, or like the past 2 years, I think it's been getting better. Just like, I think my technique is improving a bit more. So I think just consistency with that, and also just like, I did a lot more racing last year, so I think getting used to the whole like, you're doing races every
Right.
every like 3 races a week for 3 weeks in a row is just learning how to be able to push
Right. And
X
keep
amount.
skiing technically well when you're kind of
Yeah.
feeling dead.
Yeah, exactly.
And so when you said, feel a bit behind the European skiers, do you think that just because they have better technique or good technique earlier already, or do you think it has to do with that they're more focusing on skiing, or what do you think creates that gap, generally speaking?
I've been thinking about this a lot recently. I feel like it must have something to do with like better technique earlier on, especially with like Norwegians. I feel like they grow up skiing so young and so well at such a young age because it's just so ingrained in their culture.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas here it's like skiing isn't that big and we don't really, well,
But
yeah,
even I feel like if you're a ski family here, that means that you go every Saturday, maybe the Sunday as well, right? But it seems like Norway, it's almost like they ski to school, and then in the afternoon they do a family trip and go to the cabin on the weekend. And
and honestly, I wouldn't say my family is like a cross country ski family per se. We're like an outdoor family.
Okay.
Like my parents are more into biking and stuff. But yeah, I'm not sure where the gap comes from, but I feel like a lot of it would have to do with just like it's more, and like so many of the European countries have like sports schools, and like I think they just they develop it earlier than we do.
Right. And do you think the fact that they seem to me, like I know in soccer for sure, but I think with skiing too, they start with clubs really early rather than everything dependent on school systems?
Yeah, and I think they also like fun, or at least I don't know like a ton about it, but some of my friends that grew up in Norway, like my teammates in Anchorage, they a bunch of them were Norwegian, and I think they just get like funneled into the development program like way earlier. And yeah, just like the ski schools and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, that when they're in middle school, they're already like training more full time. Whereas like like for me, I was training in Canmore 4 days a week, and that means you're driving an hour, you're doing ski combo, but in reality, you're skiing like 40 minutes,
right,
and shooting a bit, and then driving home. So like I really wasn't training all that much until like I graduated high school, or like my last semester when I had 2 spares.
Yeah. And did you still ski in Confederation Park in Calgary if there was snow?
Yeah. But it was like when I was there, it was like before they started doing a lot of the snowmaking
and grooming, probably.
But yeah, no, we did go to Confed. At least like my grade 11 and 12 years. Yeah, it was just different, and honestly, like just with how I grew up, like I didn't do full-time training until like after grade 10 maybe. Like I was always going on like vacations and just like I didn't get like super serious about it until later in high school, I feel like.
Right. I always think of, the Canadian hockey is like that, right? Where they already have development programs at probably 6 or 8 now.
Yeah.
And that's just something that it almost feels like you can never catch up on because they start with this advantage over kids that start doing that kind of stuff when they're 12 or 15, and they kind of keep doing that, but which even makes it more impressive what Canadians and Americans are able to accomplish, I think. But and then do you think the fact that even at that young age they probably have a lot of WEX expertise that Canadians just don't have the budget for, does that play a big role? Or did they wax the same for everybody at that level, or?
No, it was, I don't think we had standardized waxing. And I think it's just like we don't have as many resources. Like, I think they have like just their whole system. I'm not an expert or anything, but I think just from my perspective, I think they just have like a whole system and like a whole pool of resources, like people, money, like knowledge,
know-how. Yeah.
That's just like so much more ingrained that Canadians or North Americans in general maybe don't have.
Mm-hmm.
So that I think plays a role. But yeah.
Do you guys ever talk about that when you're over there or competing? Like I don't know how it would come up, but you just like talking to one of the Norwegian girls and be like, I'm jealous of all the money you guys have. Does that ever come up at all?
Yeah. Yeah, it does come up sometimes.
I would imagine, right?
Even like this summer, one of the other athletes was like, "Oh, so how's it going?" I was like, "Oh, it's really good." He was like, "Oh, like how's the funding?" And I was like, "Oh, same as always." He was like, "Oh, yeah, I could tell. Like, I saw you have like your own fundraiser for yourself. Like, I don't know how you do it. Like, with just having to like ask people for money. It's just like we have. Yeah, it's a lot harder because even like for me, it's hard. But I'm like, I have it way better than a lot of people because I'm on the national team. So that's like a huge, so helpful to not have to pay for training fees. But, yeah, the people that are trying to like get into it, they have to work like basically full time, but then they're training full time.
Right.
And that's just to like get ends meet basically. So it's just like, how do you get out of that cycle?
Right.
And yeah,
well, even think about driving back and forth to Canmore 4 times a week. That's,
that's
just
like
a gas cost. And
that's like not normal at all. And I'm like so lucky with my parents of how they just like what they value, I think. And it was also just so helpful that I had like a group of people to do that with. So like we carpooled, and so I would drive like once every week or two kind of thing.
Right.
But it's still just like it's in 2 hours of driving every week.
Right. Yeah.
And so just the time, and also, like a lot of people wouldn't like. I think they value different things. Like some of my friends, they like spending a whole evening just not even doing homework. They're like, that's crazy. I was like, oh, but it's fine. Like I'd way rather just like study in the car and like just squeeze it in and be able to like be outside.
And I think especially younger kids, like, if you want to be back in bed by, 9, maybe a little bit later, and you have to do 2 hours of driving and then at least an hour of practice, then you have to leave from school earlier, and like it's really hard to fit in. And then what you said, you have to find parents that are crazy enough to, spend at least once or twice a week, if you can carpool, still have to drive out there, and
and honestly,
they sit there waiting in minus 15 or whatever.
So because basically my whole high school was like, school ends at 3:30, and then 30-minute bus ride home so then I bus home, I whip up something to eat really quick in like the 15 minutes that I'm home, and then
what would that be if you
we
don't
meet
mind
at
me
our carpool spot. Pardon?
What would you eat?
Sometimes grilled cheese.
That's
sometimes we went,
like what feeds the engine?
Yeah, like honestly, and both my parents worked full time. The whole time I was in high school, so sometimes we got these like good food boxes, and so that was twice a week. We had those, which was super helpful because, at one time or another, like one of my parents worked from home, so whoever was at home at the time would like whip something together, and then I'd be off. We meet at our carpool spot, we drive, and like everyone's studying in the car or whatever. We do our training, and then I get home at 9:30, and then I do whatever like homework that I had to do. Like I only do necessary basically, and then go to bed at like hopefully 10 or 10:30. But we don't get home till like 9:30 on those days, and we were doing that Thursdays, Fridays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I was honestly, so I didn't have like much of a social life other than like my biathlon friends and
do you have siblings?
I have a younger sister.
Okay, also in biathlon, or
she was, yeah.
Okay.
She recently just started going to school.
Okay.
So she did one full year after high school, and now she's in her second year of university, or going into third now. Yeah. Crazy.
Classic older sibling response there. Second year, third year? I don't know. Right?
It's all jumbled because she took a year off. So I'm like,
yeah. No, I'm just teasing.
She's in her third year right now going into it. So,
well, speaking of university, right? So was there ever a moment when you were at University of Alaska where, you did a couple of weekends on the IBU Cup where you were like, man, because you had some pretty good results there, right? I think you had several top 20s where you were like, I kind of want to stay doing this. Like, I don't want to go back to University of Alaska? Or was it always like, nah, I'm ready. I need to go back. I need to go back to school.
Honestly, I never had the thought of being like, man, I wish I could be here full. Like, I wish I could stay. No, I never had that thought. I had so much fun in Alaska with my team. And I don't know, it was just like, it just felt like we were all like working really hard. But then it was like fun because we were all like all in it together. And then like, there was just like so much socialization and like fun things that we did together and like ski touring for training. And the race circuit was really fun. Like it's like a group of like, I don't know, 30 girls who are all super competitive. And yeah, I don't know. I just like really, I feel like I wasn't ready to be fully committed almost. Yeah, which I'm like, I feel like I'm not like a diehard biathlete kind of thing. Because I feel like
mental balance.
Yeah, like I feel like it was super like fun when I was on IBU, and I was just like I was having like the year that I did super well on IBU, like I went into it with no expectations because I was like, man, I've had like a really hard school year. Like I have 4 in-person classes, and I shoot once every 2 weeks when I have time, and like I wasn't doing as much as biathlon as I wanted to be doing. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to IBU, try my best, but it's just gonna be for fun. And so when I went into it like that, I was just like, I didn't put so much pressure on myself. I was like, man, if I shit the bed, it's fine. Like I'm doing the best that I can. And so then I was just able to like really have fun with it, and just I skied faster, I shot better. And so that was really fun. But I will say it was like not super fun having school at the same time, because I was like, man, all my teammates get to like play cards and have fun and like chill out at the end of the day, and I'm just like here grinding, studying for my stats test that I have in a week.
Oh man, yeah.
So it was like, it wasn't all fun because it was like, pretty grindy and like intense a lot of the time. But I think because I like doing school so much, that's why I was like not fully ready to just be racing full time all year. Like it was kind of just a nice balance to like have the school stuff, but then in Anchorage we're traveling for 2 weeks at a time every 2 weeks.
Right.
But we're always coming to a home base, which I think I like, which is one of the major challenges I have with like biathlon now, is just like being in Europe for 3 months at a time it's hard not having a home base.
Yeah.
And is what part, like, do you miss being out here as well, or is it your family that you miss, or is it really mostly living from a suitcase kind of thing?
I miss like seeing my family and like just my other friend, like the friends that I have in Canmore, and my sister, but she doesn't even live in Canmore anymore. So, but yeah, it's mostly just like feeling a little unrooted for a long period of time is like the part that is harder. But I think now that I'm like finding friends on the World Cup circuit, and like I've gotten pretty close with the American girls, and just getting to know the people a bit better.
Right.
I feel like having a sense of community when you're on the road is so helpful. And just also making friends with people that aren't your teammates is really, really helpful.
Yeah.
Because like I love my teammates, but when you're living with them for 3 months, it's like a lot of together time. And you just feel like you're pretty secluded in a little bubble. So
for sure.
Yeah.
And that's why when you're standing around in the snow watching the last race of the season, you have these two randos come up and start chatting you up, and you're like, yeah, sure, why not? I just need to talk to somebody else.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I'm like, man, as another person, like, that's great.
So, sorry, this thing has been on my mind since you mentioned the word Alaska. Have you ever, because I always picture University Alaska, I hear in my head Kick and Rendell. Did you race with her at all? Did you compete with her? Did you train with her?
No, she was done by the time I got up there. But she does a lot with the Nordic Association up there. I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly what she does. But so every once in a while when I see her on the ski trails, I'm like, oh my god, there's Keegan Randall. But we did stuff with like APU. Like we did some time trials with them. So like Rosie Brennan and Haley, I'm gonna embarrass myself. Swerble. I think.
It sounds familiar, but yeah.
Okay, so she was really she was a really good skier, but she retired a couple years ago. Anyway, okay. So we did a lot with APU, and so they have like a really strong team and a couple of the US ski team members on it. So, just like a lot of skiers up there, like a huge ski community. So it was really fun to be able to like ski with them and learn from all those really good skiers.
Yeah. And because Jessie Diggins is not from the Alaska area, right?
No.
She's more out east.
Yeah, she's from out east or the Midwest. So didn't see her, unfortunately.
Yeah, but it must be like, because I know that was such a massive breakthrough, even before they actually won, but just that they were competing. Just Americans competing on the world tour, and then I think that was also when Devin Kershaw and Alex Harvey
Yeah.
were competing really well. So that must be like, did you sort of feed of that, or?
Honestly, I never overlapped with Devin Kershaw or Alex,
but more seeing that it's possible as a North American on a world circuit to compete. And
for sure. And like, so one of my teammates, actually, he was on the team with me for 2 years, JC Schoonmaker.
Okay.
So he's from like California or something, so not from where a lot of skiers come from. And he just got like so good when he was on the team in Anchorage. And he ended up going on to World Cups and stuff like in his last year at the school. And he was like doing really, really well in sprints and stuff. And then the year after he graduated, I think he was like got fourth one day, and like, so he had some really, really good races. And so I think just like seeing that, I don't know, being part of the same team as him, and then like seeing how he could like just be so good and actually be like a top competitor on the World Cup circuit, is pretty cool. Yeah.
Because I haven't really followed it closely, but I think Jessie Diggins has been sort of dominating the World Cup for a couple of years, or at least the Tour de Ski. I think she won a couple of times, and
yeah. So she's been like the best for like a couple of years now. So that's like, yeah.
And did you ever watch biathlon one way or another, like streaming or?
Yeah, to be honest, I am so terrible with watching sports, even biathlon. So I didn't actually start watching like World Cup races till I got onto the national team and became friends with like Adam and Christian and Emma. So yeah, I wasn't watching till I became friends with them, really, and then I was like just cheer them on. But yeah, I watched a little bit of Olympics. But like the Winter Olympics, like biathlon, but that's kind of about it. So
that's also something I've noticed in North America, that especially younger athletes, like I grew up from a place where, growing up in Holland, soccer was the big thing.
You grew up in Holland?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my mom's from Holland.
Oh, really? I lived there 33 years. So
I was trying to figure it. kind of recognized your accent. Okay.
Yeah, no, some people are always kind saying, "Oh, I can barely hear," but yeah, when I listen back to podcasts, I'm like, it's so obvious to me.
That's
But
funny.
there was soccer, but then you keep track of everything and you collect
Yeah.
stickers and then and I also followed biathlon a lot on the German TV.
Okay.
And in North America, it's been hard to follow biathlon until a couple of years ago when they had the stream here. But I'm always a bit surprised how little North American athletes know about their stats and how much they actually watch. And
I watch very, very little biathlon, to be honest.
But is it also because you're already so busy with it?
Yeah, I think I just find that I need some separation. Like I really, sometimes when I feel like I'm just spending like all my time doing it and thinking about it and like training it, I'm like, I don't really want to spend my free time watching it too.
Right. Yeah.
To be honest. But now, like when I'm in Europe, it's so fun to like watch the boys race and stuff because we race on different days or different times, and it's fun to watch the teammates racing.
There's this really great book actually about how it's about basically the idea of being well-rounded in sports and about like a high percentage of Olympians, right? It's about their background being multi-sport or having other interests outside of their sport. So it's probably really good mentally, to have that separation where you can also be excited about other things to keep yourself refreshed for when it is time to do biathlon. You're able to put the energy into it because you're not exhausted by it already.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you do anything with the stats from biathlon results, or is it more if your coaches force you to look at it? Or
on the bad days, it is hard to look at them because I'm like, man, what was I doing on the mat there? Like, why was I on the mat for 40 seconds? Like, come on. No, but I do, like, after each race, like, I look at everything and I go through it and I kind of I kind of try and figure out, like, okay, this is what I did good. This is what I need to do better. And then try and just, like, adjust for the next day and just figure out, like, what I could do a little bit better. Like, if it's in my power, I'm like, okay, what can I do? Like, what happened here? What can I do to shift that a little bit? Because it is super helpful to look at those stats and stuff. But yeah, I do find that it is easy to get too wrapped up in the numbers and like too obsessive over them. And I think when that happens, it's not super helpful because you're like, not everything is about the numbers. It's like, okay, but like, was it fun? Did it feel good? Like what? Because I kind of try and like think about like what my headspace was at and like kind of compare that to like, how did I perform? How did it feel? Like, how can I make it fun so that I can like, because I know I do good when it's fun. So it's like, how can I find the fun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always find comparing it to the rest of the field or comparing it to your total season probably also gives a better picture, right? Because if everybody had a bad day because of conditions or whatever, then maybe makes you feel less bad about performance if it didn't go well. Or
and I think just like comparing a little bit to how other people are, like I don't know, looking at like other people's techniques in certain sections and stuff is helpful, but I think just comparing like your numbers compared to someone else's numbers, like it's very easy to like feel bad about yourself with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I try to just compare it to like, okay, what's my normal, what's good for me, and how like comparing it to myself more.
Right.
Mind you, it is like a struggle for me because like I'm an athlete and we're all competitive, so obviously we're like comparing like one way or another to each other.
Yeah.
It's more, at least for me, it's more like the process. It's like, okay, what did I do here that like made it the way it was and stuff like that.
And is that also like, would your team, like, would you sit down with the coaches every now and then to sort of look at stats and?
Yeah, like we usually go, I mean, I think we have like a meeting after probably almost every race, like unless we're really upset about, like unless something, it's kind of just like if we feel like we need to meet, and I do like meeting and talking about it, at least like after the race weekend. as kind of like a minimum, or at least like I'll write it down somewhere and like I'll put it on like my training log or something like that, or at least like something for my record. Because yeah, sometimes it is nice to just like talk about it or talk about it with like teammates and stuff. Like I talked a lot about my races with like Emma last year. And yeah, super helpful to hear like advice from someone who'd been doing it for so long. So yeah.
We speaking of, we spoke with Emma a little bit earlier this summer, and I was going to ask you, what is it going to be like not having her around this upcoming year? Because it's really a shift. I mean, obviously, Nadia Moser's been up there a little while, but it's really like it's her and you and Benita Pfeiffer and Shiloh, and I mean, it's definitely a younger group that's going to be up there. So who is going to be that voice? Who's going to be the Emma Lunder? Who's going to be or is it just going to be a group effort, I guess?
I don't know. I am so sad that she's not going to be up there, because she was like, it's just so nice to have someone who's like, we get to each venue and she's like, okay guys, here's the bathrooms, here's how you get to the range, here's our walks out. Like, she's like a tour guide for each venue basically. And it's just like, she's like, okay, let's go, like we can go ski the course and I'll like tell you what I think about it, and then I can like tell her what I think. Like it's just like so nice to have someone that's been to all these places and just kind of to know the drill. And yeah, she's like a very big like leadership role on our team. So I think the dynamic will be much different this year, and I honestly don't know who is what it's gonna be like.
Maybe it'll be you.
So she's got to come back as a coach, really.
No.
Yeah. She needs to come for support.
And would you also sometimes do that with American athletes, or would you tag along with some Swedish athletes, or not really? Is that all very within the team?
Yeah, like with my like American friends, like I think we try and like find each other and we'll ski together and stuff like that. But the girls that I'm friends with, we're all new with it, I would say. But yeah, even just like skiing with someone and chatting about it is really helpful. And I don't know too many people on other teams. Like I'm friends with like Lena on the Swiss team, so
I think everybody's friends with Lena.
she is friends with everyone, so it's fun to like ski with her a little bit. But we honestly just like talk about life, and we don't so much focus on the course.
But it's not like you're seeing Lou ski and you're like, hey, any tips on the corner in Oslo there? Or
no, I haven't been brave enough to talk to any French girls really.
But you obviously you did a podcast in French, so you must be fairly comfortable at least.
Like I would say it was out of my comfort zone. I would say like somewhat comfortable, yeah. Because I like when I was like in grade 9, I lived in France for 3 months. Like I did a school exchange.
Okay.
So that's actually where I met Maya Clotens for the first time. Was like racing in France. Because we were both biathletes then. Because I was training in like the same region as her.
Okay.
So yeah, I have become like slightly better friends with her this year. Yeah, because it's kind of just funny how we met like so long ago, and have been kind of like bouncing around the same kind of races.
Yeah.
So,
is Maya the tallest woman? Hold on, RJ. We gotta cover this. Is Maya the tallest woman in biathlon? And do you know when she comes to shoot next to you because the shadow follows over you? I just remember being up there and walking by her the first time, and I was like, "Holy cow! Like she's almost as tall as me, and I'm tall."
Naughton is pretty tall too.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Yeah. She probably is the tallest.
Yeah.
She must be.
Was she always that tall? Like in 9th grade, was she tall? Because women obviously grow younger than men, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't know if she
like, she's always been tall.
Yeah. Well, it's very cool that you guys are coming along together.
Yeah, it's kind of like such a small world.
Yeah.
Is she Flemish or French or both?
She's French.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I'm curious about when you say I haven't built up the comfort level yet to just talk to Lou, even though we always talk about how they're so easygoing and approachable, almost everybody in biathlon. But is that just because you feel like they're too busy with something, or?
No, I'm honestly just so intimidated by everyone else. Or like I'm intimidated by everyone, but it's towards the end of the season, it's more chill vibes, but yeah, I feel like at least before I got to know some people, like everyone's just in their zone, and like especially on like the official training days, like everyone's just like focusing on their shooting, and it's kind of like there's not a ton of opportunity to like just chit chat with the other people.
Right.
Yeah, and it's more just me, I think, just being like nervous and being like, oh, like I'm new here, and like yeah, just that kind of thing.
Totally get it.
That's fine. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of your American friends, you spent some time with them this summer. How did that all get? I think was Adam out there with you as well?
Yeah, so he planned it like a lot, because we kind of knew he was going to be like the only guy on the team, so I think they had organized for him to be able to join them on that camp. And then I was like, can I come? Yeah, because I was like, we didn't have like a ton of camps planned, and I was like, man, that would be like really cool if there was an opportunity. And I was like, well, it doesn't hurt to ask.
So who did you talk to?
Well, we were kind of trying to like go as a team and just like see if we could collaborate, but it was way too last minute, and like there's not really accommodation for like everyone and all that. So yeah, the plan just like it was just too last minute, so it wasn't like gonna work out. So I reached out to Lowell. I think he's like there. He organizes. He does the planning. So yeah, I emailed him and I was like, "Hey, like, can I join?" He was like, "Yep, that works. Like, you just have to find your own accommodation in Anholtz because we don't have a room. But other than that, like, you're free to come."
That was in Lake Placid?
In Italy.
Oh, in Italy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like you guys had a magnificent time because everybody was posting pictures left to right, and I mean, it just looks like it was a lot of hard work, but also everybody just seemed to be really enjoying it.
Yeah, it was a really, really good camp, and we did like so we went to like the Biathlon festival for like the first weekend, and then we went to Livigno, and most of that camp we did with like the Finnish team.
Yeah,
and then we went to Anholtz for the last part, and yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
What was that
wasn't by chance, right? Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what was the mountain you guys climbed where it looked like it was snowing and slushy and?
We did. I didn't do any hiking because I have injured knees and I can't go downhill.
When I say climbed, I mean you guys skied up it was.
Yes. Okay. So we skied up, Stelvio Pass.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the weather looked gross.
We did like. It was really nice actually because it'd been pretty warm, so it was kind of nice. But I did get a little bit chilly. It wasn't raining or anything, but the snow was still on the ground. Yeah, we did a zone 3 workout, where we just did like an hour of continuous zone 3 up the pass. Yeah.
And you said way back, maybe this even before we started recording, but about you didn't know that you had necessarily been giving, Canada things to cheer about. Maybe I'm misappropriating your words intentionally, but I think you gave them a lot.
I never said that.
No, you didn't. A lot to cheer about. Frostinoro, like at the Biathlon Festival, what happened there? You won.
Oh man, yeah, I don't even know what happened there. Yeah, it was. I mean, the qualifier, I hit like 4 out of 10. I was like probably the slowest skier. But yeah, we all like everyone made heats because there was 12 girls. But yeah, it was just kind of fun, and it was like I've never done a super sprint before. And definitely more of a shooting thing, but since the loop is like 700 meters long, like so short, it was like 35 degrees. It was like so hard to shoot. So everyone was just like missing left, right, and center, and yeah, somehow I just kept qualifying for the next one, like somehow kept making it, and then I was like in the finals, and I was like, oh wow, this is kind of wild. And then yeah, it was honestly just more for fun and like
no expectations.
And it was you, and it was Kuzmina and Slampich, and I think, was it Rebecca Passler was in the finals as well? And anyway.
Yeah.
And so
I was fangirling really hard over Lampich.
Yeah. Well, and
how stressful is that to have her behind you and knowing that she's crawling closer and closer?
Honestly, not stressful, because I was like, man, the fact that I'm just like racing with her right now, I was like, this is so cool.
Is that the race where Kuzmina got penalized after the finish? Like she finished just ahead of you? Is that that race?
No, it was because Passler had crossfired on my targets.
Oh, okay. So
I had like a 20-second time credit because I was just on the mat waiting for my targets to reset. And so they had already left the range, and I was still on the range, like hadn't even started shooting yet. And then I finally shot, and then I was kind of alone for most of the race, but then was like slowly catching up to them. But during the race, they were like, okay, yeah, you have like 20 seconds, like you're good. So that was honestly also kind of relieving, because then I was like, oh, there's like no pressure really, because I'm like probably like 10 seconds behind them, so I'm good. I'm chilling. But yeah,
you caught all the way up.
Yeah, I was like, because I ended up shooting better, because I think having the range to myself every time helps a little bit. And then I was like, honestly, I have like nothing to lose really, because I wasn't sure if I was going to get a time credit, but I was like, yeah, honestly, like I'll just like finish, like I can't really do anything about this now. And yeah, I don't know, when stuff goes wrong, I end up just being able to like chill out a bit and do better, I think. So
because
maybe the coaches can do something with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out how I can not have
be more like ask a competitor to crossfire on purpose.
And it's funny because you caught up so well that at the beginning of the race I saw you, and I was like, oh, that was Pascale, and then you were right there at the finish. Like, no, it couldn't have been. I must have misseen it, because like you had caught up. Like I expected you just to be so far behind because of the how long it had taken. But yeah, that was magnificent. So
yeah, I think it's just, I don't know what they shot, but I think they were shooting worse than I was. Like I was shooting clean or like missing one. Like I was shooting pretty good. And I usually, like with skiing, I really take a long time to like warm up to it. So I think I was just skiing also better than I was in the first couple ones.
Yeah.
And being alone in the range, do you still get distracted by the people around you, or is it more that the crowd is louder when there's four instead of just you? Or
yeah, and that's what I struggled with like in World Cup this year, was just how loud it was, and especially when I was on the range with other people, especially like if we were in Germany and I was next to a German, it's like so overwhelming. And because I have a hard time like directing my my focus, that was like my main thing that I struggled with, was just like my ability to focus on like my task at hand versus like getting distracted by everything around me.
Right.
So I think that's why I was so inconsistent with my shooting compared to like I usually am. Just like the external stimulus is like insanely higher than IBU.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to wear earbuds if you would want to?
Not earbuds, like not any music thing.
No, I mean like the foamy ones.
I think so. I honestly don't know, but I think some people do. I think, yeah.
So you mentioned one of your locations for training was Antholz. I'm assuming it has something to do with a certain event coming up next winter.
Yeah.
Are you placed for that already, or are you just placed on the national team, and then depending on how the results are, closer
depending
to?
on how the results are.
And do you have like, you have to have at least 5 top 20s or like what?
I honestly don't know what the criteria is. I'm pretty notorious for not reading the documents very well. I think there's some sort of thing. I don't know if like I think the official criteria must be out somewhere. I don't really know, to be honest, but it is based on results. Like I haven't made any team. So we basically have to make World Cup first, and then it's based on like World Cup results.
Okay.
Is my understanding of it. And I think it's similar to like how we did it last year, and it's just like based on like you need X result X amount of times as like priority, and then like having the different priorities and stuff. But yeah, so I don't know what the exact qualifications are.
And how many spots are there for the Canadian women? 3
4.
or 2? Oh, 4 spots. Okay. So that's good.
Yeah.
And then is your goal mostly to just play by ear, do your best, and see if that's going to be enough? Or like, is your schedule, your training schedule, kind of already focused on being able to peak around that time, or?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not knocking on wood, but my training schedule is based on as if I'm going.
Okay.
I hope people don't judge me for that.
No. I don't think anybody will.
Yeah. So
real quick,
hopefully nothing goes terribly wrong. Hopefully everything goes well, and hopefully I can meet my goals. And yeah, so my goal is to like, I really, really want to go.
You're too Canadian, because that's a very North
say.
American, specifically Canadian mindset of not wanting to say out loud that, your goal is to make the Olympics.
Yeah.
Which I can't imagine anybody would find that, bad or cocky or.
Yeah.
Over your shoulder, it looked like there was a purple logo. It almost looked like it had the Milan 2026 logo on it.
Yeah, that was okay. This is part of someone that some of our family friends, they wanted to contribute to my GoFundMe.
Cool. Okay.
And so they have their annual company Stampede fundraiser for their company. And they were super, super generous and decided to up their ticket price, and give me a cut of their money that they made. And so I got this poster made to put at
fantastic.
the fundraiser.
It's awesome.
Yes.
I wasn't even there to attend the fundraiser, unfortunately, because I was gone already. My parents went in my place, which is like their worst nightmare, to go to Stampede. But so this is the fundraiser poster for it.
Help Pascale aim for gold.
Awesome.
I love it. Yes.
Which is so uncharacteristic of me to like. My mom was like, "Is this title okay? Like, is it too much?" And I was like, "Yeah, honestly, like I don't want to be like aiming for gold. Like, I just want to go." But
no,
then I was like,
it sounds great.
I need to be better about just like owning it and trying to sell myself a little bit more.
But there's also difference between, like if you have a race for you where you gave it all and it's 30th or 50th or whatever it is, that's something to be very proud of. But I think on in a different view, I'm assuming you're still aiming for the first place. Like that's the ultimate goal, right? And you haven't been on the World Cup long, but I would like, maybe that's not the expectation, but it's still the ultimate goal, I think, for every race.
Yeah, you have a point there.
Like, you're not aiming to be 30th. You're very happy if you become, if that's the result. But
because my goal setting is like not my strong suit, because I tend to under aim. But yeah, so I guess recently, I guess I'm like, okay, like, yeah, I'm not just doing it to just do it. Like, I am trying to actually be the best biathlete I can. So I feel like in a way I haven't quite allowed myself to believe that I can actually be like way up there. But, you know, just baby steps for me.
Yeah. Well, have you
have
you or the coaching staff like sort of established goals? And you don't have to share them with us, but like, do you have like concrete goals of, I know like this past year you had, 3 finishes in the top 40. Next year I want to have 5, or, I'm just throwing things against the wall, but I want to have my first top 30 next year. Do you have concrete goals, or are they just sort of vague, improve this, improve that, and then the results will take care of themselves?
Yeah, I have both. I finally set some concrete goals for myself. Last year I didn't really set like any like result goals.
Yeah. First year.
Yeah, but so yeah, this year I have some like result goals that I want, and yeah, also some process oriented goals, which are honestly like more of the main focus, because like if all you're thinking about is the result, is like, that's not how you're going to get to the result, So
also, you're 23 years old. It's not like we're expecting you to be at your peak performance right now.
Yeah.
No, I'm just, like you said. So let's start with the assumption that the Olympics are going to happen. Is there any way for you to see those as just another race, or just as like you started with your first race in the youth and junior, where you're just going in for the experience?
I honestly, in a way, yeah, because it is the Olympics, but we're the only sport in our like village, and we're the only event that's happening in that area. And so I think mainly the difference is going to be kind of like mental, and also like it's just going to be the race that everyone's peaking for.
Right.
Like usually it's world champs, but this time it's going to be the Olympics. So that's like, so it's just bigger and probably more people. And I think I'll have my mom came to one race last year, but they've only come to one other international race. So they haven't actually watched me in person very much. So I think they're planning on going. So I think that'll be like a major difference, is like actually having like friends and family there watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it'll feel very similar, but in a way it'll be quite a bit more. But I think in terms of like Olympics in general, I think it'll feel more normal than in past years.
Okay.
It's kind of, but I've never been, so I can't speak for that totally, but that's just my
and I think
about it.
Biathlon is also one of the few sports that is almost during the whole duration of the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like the first race is pretty soon, and then the last race is often close to the end, right? So
yeah.
Thankfully, you already had your first Worlds experience. The setup is obviously structurally they might be different, but like the schedule, is going to be relatively the same. Same venue, 2 weeks. All that.
Yeah, and so World Champs is like that, and we have that like every year and stuff like that, and we race in Anholt every single year, so the venue is somewhat familiar. And the way we did our World Cup last year was like a quote unquote trial for the Olympics. So we did all the same kind of like we put our rifles in the storage lockers, like we can't take our rifles to our hotels, like stuff like that. It was all very like organized in the same way that the Olympics would be.
Is it organized by Italians or IBU people from all over? Because I know Italians in organization is not always ideal.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it's like the Italian COC probably, or no, the Italian Olympic Committee. Yeah. Probably with the help of IBU, I
was going to say you're probably going to see a pretty heavy IBU presence there.
Yeah,
because they're in charge of organizing, the competitions and all that. This was your first full year on the World Cup, and so obviously you went to Antholz, and you'll see that again next year. But was there anywhere, any city, any venue that really stood out that you were like, well, that was cool. Like, I can't wait to see that one again. Or I want to spend more time in that place.
It's kind of funny because like before I got to each venue, they all seemed so novel. And so I was like, this is crazy. But then looking back, they all are so similar in a way too. And a lot of my experiences are based on how my races went. But and the weather, that made a huge difference. Like Oberhof, that really stands out to me. Because I was like, that was probably the worst weather I've ever experienced racing in.
Really?
Well, that's like a bit dramatic, but basically, yeah, it was like sideways ice.
It was bad. It was bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like ankle deep slush.
Yeah.
And just so windy. Like I think just not the worst conditions, but like the most challenging conditions for biathlon.
You know, there were some
there's
bad
still
weather races last
18,000 people.
Yeah, and I was like, why? Like the fans are insane. I was like, the stands are full. It's like 2 degrees and pouring rain.
Yeah.
So that place stood out to me, and probably not in like a good way. But it's memorable, very memorable.
Certainly.
Yeah.
This is like very contrary to like popular opinion. I really enjoyed Nova Mesto.
Cool.
Because, which usually apparently it's always raining and always like not great, but I think because most of the snow we experienced all year was like quite bad. But Nova Mesto, they do a really good job with like their salting stuff, and so like the snow was actually really, I thought, kind of good in a way. And there was like really nice sunsets every night, and we were racing kind of at sunset, and so I really liked the atmosphere. And we had really good weather that year, but I've heard it's like not known for that. And yeah, like Hochfilzen was really nice. I'm trying to think. Norway is always, I think, just like the last, it's probably just because of the last race, but that one, like, I think it's just so iconic that it's so cool. But I just remember it sucked because the snow was like literally so bad, and it was like so obnoxiously hot to race in. Like it just feels so bad to race when it's 15 degrees. Like your face just feels like it's on fire, and like your shins are hurting because it's so icy / slushy. But the
vibe was so.
The vibe is so fun. So I think that kind of made up for it.
And especially this year with the Bow brothers retiring.
Yeah, like that stuff was
Emma.
like so awesome. And so I think that it was just like such a fun place to end at.
And of course we were there, and that made everything all the better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you guys were there. Like, crazy.
You must have thought at some point, was that somebody cheering me on in English there? Or,
Yeah, well, and I knew like my friend had her like American family was there, so there was some English people. But it's just like,
no, I'm just kidding.
Where are these people coming from? Like, I haven't heard English in so long.
Yeah, well, I'll get used to it.
I was going to jump ship a little bit about my rifle nerding. Is that something that interests you at all?
Wait, Jordan, were you going to say something?
I was actually going to ask real quick before we get into the rifle. You mentioned your knees. Are your knees okay?
Oh, yeah. Like, it's nothing, like, debilitating. It's just, like, I haven't been able to run a lot. But it's just, like, it's not, like, it's just, like, an overuse thing. And
Got it. Just wanted to make sure.
My knees don't love running very much.
Got it.
Okay, rifle stuff. I don't know anything about it.
But is it like, are you like, oh, my standing block, I should move it a little bit or shave it?
I haven't adjusted anything on my rifle and like, okay, I've adjusted a little bit, but I don't adjust it ever. Like I don't change anything. Right. It works. It feels good. So I'm not going to
So last year when Logan was constantly bugging you like, hey, did you know I can 3-print that piece and improve it? You're like, go away. I don't want to.
He never asked me. I
Oh
was like,
no, I'm just kidding. But
I just, I don't really mess with anything. And yeah, I have the same rifle that I've had since I was like in grade 9. So,
okay.
and haven't changed anything about it. My snow cap, sometimes it's broken a little bit, but that's the only thing that I've replaced.
And do you use?
I got my rifle in grade 11, like right after my first international race, I think, is when I got my rifle.
And do you have risers on there or like no?
No, I don't really have anything other than just like the standard rifle.
Yeah. Is it just a standard Anschutz stock or?
It's a Sansang.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's with the post under the standing block, is that right? Or
I don't know. It's like a French one, but I don't know if they make them anymore. I think they recently stopped, but
okay.
Yeah.
Well, then Jordan's like, hey, we only have to talk about rifles for 2 minutes.
Yeah,
because
Logan, I don't really nerd out on that stuff.
We're going to talk to Logan
I just like
soon.
The color of it.
We're going to talk to Logan soon, and I know it's going to be an hour and a half of rifle talk, and I don't have a rifle, so it's just going to be Yep. Pascale, you're on the BIU. You're a BIU integrity ambassador. I just saw that because I literally, when I was prepping for this, the first thing I do, right, is I just throw your name into Google, and of course, the first name that comes up is a French tennis player, which that was irritating.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, who is this interloper?
So I just have to get more famous than her, and then I'll pop up first.
After you win gold medal.
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect.
So, and I do that because oftentimes, you'll see these like just weird stories. That's why I found out about Claire Egan and her love affair with pigs. Anyway, but one of the things that came up was you are a BIU integrity ambassador. How did that come about? What does that mean?
So that, how did this happen? So basically in Norway, one of our friends, he was like, okay, we're looking for a new BIU person. And then I was like, oh, no, like, I don't really, not that I don't care about that stuff, but I was like, oh no, it's like, you'll find someone, you got it. And then Emma was like, Pascale, that is a really good idea. And I was like, is it? Like, yeah, it's a really good idea. So I was like, okay, yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna apply and I'm gonna do that. Like, that'll be really good just to like be part of the community and contribute a little bit more, and fun to learn something about. Like, I don't usually, I'm like more into sustainability because like that's kind of what I did in school, like environmental science and all that. But then I was like, yeah, like honestly, I could broaden my horizons. Like it would be super good, I think, to just like help out and just be part of that and be more involved in the community and not just a racing kind of way. So yeah, then I applied and here I am. Now I'm a BIU ambassador.
Is this part of the IBU or?
It's they're connected, but they're kind of their own unit.
Right. Like
they're kind of like their own separate unit, but it's very intertwined.
It's probably just to avoid confusion with IBU, BIU.
Yeah, I think it's because there's such a separate, like IBU has like their sustainability program and their gender equality program. But I think it's because the integrity is kind of like such a separate thing and such a big thing too, that they have their own kind of like unit. But then it's like, I think someone on the group works for IBU. So they're like, there's some sort of connection, but they're technically separate.
And if you had to describe it in 20 seconds in an elevator to someone, what it entails, how would you describe your role?
So since I'm so new, it is new for me, but I would describe it as being part of a group to talk about the integrity in sport and come up with like some solutions about bringing awareness to it and the importance of it. I'm just finding more creative ways to engage people in it, because I feel like it's not always like the first thing that people are like interested in or engaged in. So yeah.
And should I think like fairness in racing, or
like fairness but doping kind of thing?
Okay, it's
like
a lot about doping.
Yeah.
But is that
sport?
Okay, we'll go back a whole to the start of the podcast, but like the same wax for everybody, is that also something that would come up, or is that?
We haven't actually, but I guess that's kind of a good question. But I don't know, because then it's like everyone also has different equipment and different skis and different levels of skis. Then it's like,
okay,
then shouldn't you put everyone on like standardized skis? But it is hard, because it's like, some countries don't have the same resources as like the German wax tech team, some teams just have like so many more resources to put into the research behind waxing and all that. So I think it's like a little bit of a separate, or I don't know if it would be separate. That's actually, it's a good question to think about, I think. But I think it's also just like part of the sport, maybe, is the waxing. But yeah, because I don't know, like in NCAA, like on the college circuit, we have standardized testing or standardized wax for all the races and stuff. But then it just means your ski fleet is so much more important.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think it kind of like the wax, I feel like it doesn't make the skis as important in a way.
Mm-hmm. But you can sort of compensate with the wax, or?
Yeah. With like wax knowledge and stuff like that. But yeah, without and I think this is kind of going off topic, but now that we don't have like fluoros, that's kind of like a whole new ball game now, because like we were kind of figuring it out before with them, and then like had kind of a good thing going, I think. But then it's like, okay, now you take away the fluoros, but like waxing is like completely different then, and there's like so many other factors and like different things to think about. And I think then the wax is so much more important. Yeah, so it just changes things.
Right.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have kept you for quite a long time. Yeah. I think we're coming up on the hour and a half mark. I know you have changed positions, so clearly, I don't know if somebody is trying to invade your space, but if we, I think that we've kept you for long enough, and we can let you get back to whatever you would normally be doing on a Monday afternoon.
Yeah, honestly, I'm just getting really hungry and I need to make lunch.
Yes, you need to go eat.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I was thinking on earlier where you said I'm kind of a restless person, and then I started see you walk around and stuff, and I was like, oh, I guess we're
my attention span is also not it's limited.
Yeah.
Not that it's not super interesting.
No offense taken
that way at all.
No, absolutely not. So, Pascale, thank you so much. This has been magnificent. I really appreciate all the time, and honestly, like how open and honest you've been about everything, and can't wait to both see you on the World Cup again this year, to hang out with you. Hopefully, we have to figure out where we're going to do that, RJ, and
cheer you on from anywhere.
Yeah, exactly, right,
for sure.
Yeah, and then we'll have to have you on again.
Fans out there.
Yeah,
exactly. All right, Pascale, get out of here. Go eat.
Thank you so much, and have a good rest of your Monday.
You too.